Gaza is under siege, with Israel blocking the supply of water, electricity, food and fuel to the border. The worst conflict in decades erupted on October 7, when Hamas launched an attack that killed more than 1,400 people. Since then, more than 3,700 people have been killed in Gaza, according to the health ministry in Hamas-controlled territory. Let's check the US updates of the conflict. This is Krishnendu Nair. On this behalf, US President Joe Biden, after his trip to Israel, is seeking help and funds, or billions of dollars for military aids for Israel. Biden will send an urgent budget request to Congress seeking funds to support its allies, including Israel and Ukraine, and for America's national security needs as well. As the Israel-Hamas war enters its 14th day, US President Joe Biden gave a televised speech today about the US response to Hamas attacks on Israel. President Joe Biden has made it clear that he will not allow terrorists like Hamas and dictators like Putin to win, and explained why his country would support Ukraine and Israel. Biden accused Hamas of unleashing pure, unadulterated evil on the world and stressed that he had no higher priority as president than bringing home US citizens held by the armed group. While expressing his support for Israel, Biden said he was saddened by the tragic loss of Palestinian lives and had spoken with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas and reiterated the US commitment to the rights of Palestinian people. Speaking hours after returning from Tel Aviv, Biden reassured US support for Israel, even amid a total blockade of Gaza and relentless bombing of the Palestinian enclave of 2.3 million people. Also, Biden's speech came after reaching an agreement with Egypt to allow aid to Gaza. Biden's visit was to meet the Arab leaders, but the talks were cancelled hours earlier after clashes at Gaza's Al Ali Arab Hospital, which almost killed 500 people. Amid calls for a ceasefire, Biden managed to secure commitments from Israel and Egypt to open the Rafah crossing to much-needed humanitarian aid. Plots also indicate that on day 14 of the Israel-Hamas war, Israel's defense chief instructed its troops to prepare for a possible entry into the Gaza Strip with the aim of crushing the Palestinian terror group. Biden's words also touched on Ukraine's resistance to Russian occupation. He also underscored the existential threat Hamas possesses to Israel's democracy. He stressed that he would ask the US Congress for billions of dollars on behalf of Israel and Ukraine, and that abandoning US allies was not worth it. He urged Israeli leaders in the situation to learn from America's mistakes after the 9/11 attacks and avoid being blinded by rage. He also noted that the US is an indispensable part of a group of nearly 50 countries that have supported Ukraine since the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion. While ensuring Ukraine has the weapons it needs to defend itself, he made it clear that there are no plans to send US troops to Eastern Europe. When Putin invaded Ukraine, he thought he could capture Kyiv and all of Ukraine within days. But Putin failed and he will continue to fail, Biden said. Kyiv is still standing because of the bravery of the Ukrainian people. Ukraine has recaptured more than 50% of the territory once occupied by Russian forces. On the other side, details of the explosions near Gaza's St. Porphyry's Church, the oldest in the enclave, are still emerging.